Jessica, yesterday on The View, Joe Biden said she was with me every step of the way. And yet she's trying to separate herself, saying that she's the changed candidate. Joe Biden isn't doing her any favors.
No, she's not just saying that she's the change candidate. The American public thinks that. So in the latest set of polling, she's 9-10.
You just can't make this up, man. Trump derangement syndrome stage 4 right here.
Points up on who represents change. And we know from the debate that her most effective line was, "I am not Joe Biden." So obviously they didn't conference about what he was going to say there. I do think it gives her foreign policy bona fides that she needs to step into this role. But, you know, if you want to say she said holistically 3 times within 40 seconds, sure, that did happen. But if people were watching the interview, they also heard that she's going to give tax cuts to 100 million people, that you're going to get a $6,000 child tax credit, that she's going to build 3 million new housing units, that she's not going to, quote,
Was we all watching that same interview? That same interview where after her interviewer, the one that was asking the questions, also said this.
Mattered. Talk about that answer. I do, but here's what's a little tricky. She doesn't answer the question around if the GOP is controlling the Senate, if she can't raise corporate taxes, where is she going to get the money from, to expand the child tax credit and do all the things she wants to do? And she says, we just have to do it.
Make sure y'all show Jessica this. I'm pretty sure by now she's already seen it. Show Jessica Tarlov this.
And that's great, and that's a campaign promise. But the issue is, if it means we're just going to borrow again, then what we're doing is we're just never addressing the deficit. And back in the days when you were a proud Republican, debts and deficits mattered.
We're not ready for her. She's not doing well. These interviews are going really poorly. She was asked a specific question about how are we going to make housing more affordable? And she says she's going to give money to state and local governments, and it's going to be holistic. What does that mean? She's going to build yoga studios, Jessica? Healing crystals?
You love yoga.
Ayahuasca studios? What does that mean? She's going to give money to state and local governments in a holistic way for transportation needs, and it's going to help housing. She doesn't have a grasp on anything. She didn't even know Biden kept Trump's tariffs on China. She says inflation's a crisis and then blamed Trump. She says the border is a crisis and then blamed Trump. She said the border was fine 3 years ago. She said the border was fine for 3 years, and now it's a crisis. She can't blame Trump for her border crisis. She let 20 million people into the country. And the worst line of the whole thing, Jessica, she said the American dream is dead. She's in power now. She said the American dream is dead.
All right, Greg, Kamala...
Just an absolute disgrace how they're playing in people's faces, man. And how they think we're stupid. We had such a great interview. And then after the interview, this is what she says. The interviewer, MSNBC, after the interview.
Talk about that answer. I do, but here's what's a little tricky. She doesn't answer the question around.
She doesn't answer questions. She repeats the same thing. Word salad, word spaghetti. DEI didn't earn it. Not qualified. Shouldn't be nowhere near a White House. Didn't earn it. DEI. Kamala, Chameleon. They're running off joy. And if she's a black woman, I don't know. Don't care. They call us racist when we start calling out the truth. But hey, I don't see how anybody can cast a vote for this. I'm sorry, y'all. I just don't see it, man. They could have did better. I tell you, Joe knew what he was doing. Joseph knew what he was doing. Get Brandon on the phone. He done dropped his snow cone all on the floor. Y'all done pushed him, kicked him, and beat him down and kicked him to the curb. He got out there and blew the motor and the transmission oil. Y'all hurt Joe feelings. He said, you know what? Here y'all go. Have her. I'm out. Since I'm 140 years old. Joe said it. Since I'm 140 years old. And it's a cheap fake and a deep fake. Here y'all go. Y'all can have her. And I don't blame Joe, man, for putting on that Trump hat. He knew what he was doing, man. I'm telling y'all, Trump ain't lied. Trump was right, man. Trump was right. I wish y'all understand what's really going on. It's corrupt, man. People clapping and cheering on these puppets, repeating the same thing. Can't answer a question. The biggest questions, the economy, the border. I was a prosecutor. I grew up in the middle class. Everybody cut their lawn. You know, we used to hear the lawnmower. And granddaddy will be outside and he'll be pulling that string until he pulls one of his ligaments out of place. Shout out to granddaddy. Granddaddy was a real one.
I do, but here's what's a little tricky. She doesn't answer the question around if the GOP is controlling the Senate, if she can't raise corporate taxes, where is she going to get the money from? To expand the child tax credit and do all the things she wants to do. And she says,
again, it's all just, it's lies. It's failure. Manipulation, pandering. I mean, it just, Joe. You know?
we just have to do it. And that's great, and that's a campaign promise. But the issue is, if it means we're just going to borrow again, then what we're doing is we're just never addressing the deficit. And back in the days when you were a proud Republican, debts and deficits.
It's a huge difference from a puppet politician and a businessman. A huge difference. You know, same thing.
Talking about the significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time in terms of what we need to do to lay these wires.
And this is real. Yeah, this is real. This is the same thing that we're hearing right now. And now we're hearing just the repeated dreams and aspirations. Optimistic dream, the dreams of the people, the dreams, the aspirations.
What we need to do to create these jobs.
And we still hear the significance of the passage of time too as well. That she repeats the exact same things, man.
And there is such great significance to the passage of time when we think about a day in the life of our children.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
Yeah, y'all. You just can't make this up, man. You just can't make this up. Oh, boy. You just can't make it up, man. Even the title on this says, Kamala Harris can't answer a question with actual sentences, word and punctuation. Oh, man, this is... But again, like as you can see, everybody is sick and tired of this crap. Everybody. Even her voter base, her base, they're like, whoa. Am I really voting for this? Did this lady just repeat the same thing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday? And wait, and Saturday and Sunday? On the weekend, she repeated the same thing? Why can't I? Okay, so look, I tuned in yesterday on her economic plan, and I was just hoping and praying that she actually answered the questions, that she actually had a plan. And I still didn't get it. These are what the voters are saying, y'all. They are panicking and shaking out their shoes right now. Because right now in her poll, and she is dropping it like it's hot. I told you, they were better off just leaving Joe in there and letting him drop his snow cone on the floor. Just saying, they should have left Joe in there.
Attacking Kamala Harris ahead of the vice president's belated visit to the border tomorrow in Arizona. That's after Kamala takes incoming for doing a terrible job during her first solo network TV interview. Take a look.
If you are hardworking, if you have the dreams and the ambitions and the aspirations of what I believe you do, you're in my
The dreams and the aspirations, same. This is ridiculous, man. This is an absolute disgrace.
plan. We have ambition. We have aspirations. We have dreams. We can see what's possible. My vision for the economy, I call it an opportunity economy, is about making sure that all Americans, wherever they start, wherever they are, have the ability to actually achieve those dreams and those ambitions.
But she did tell us about her new favorite word.
Damn, hold on, Judge Janine stepping though. Hold on, y'all patrons. Y'all see Janine stepping? Janine, okay, she got it going on. She got that cheetah leopard print. That's that cheetah print. Janine got it going on. She looks sexy right here. You feel me? Yeah, she's styling. Yeah. Yeah. You know them women with common sense, man. They always sexy, man. I'm telling you, we got a lot of sexy, common sense women on the channel. We got a lot of handsome fellamen. Shout out to my brothers and sisters, man. We got love for everybody, baby. But man, Janine is styling. Yeah, she got that thing on. She pop her shit. Pop it, Janine. Pop it, girl. Yeah. You know, people with common sense, man. You know, you can always tell the difference with people with common sense. You can always tell the difference.
She did tell us about her new favorite word.
And looking holistically at the connection between that and housing, and looking holistically at the incentives we in the federal government can create for local and state governments to actually engage in planning in a holistic manner that includes prioritizing affordable housing for working people.
Okay, Dana.
Oh shit. Jessica's on the show, so fair warning. It might get a little hot. It might get a little heated, I don't know. But Jessica Tarlov is on the show. I did see her in the comment section. Everybody again wants her fired. Get rid of her. Can we vote her out? Can she go to CNN, MSNBC, The View? You know, she don't got to submit an application, a resume, a background check. She's already hired. They already have a celebration for her in the break room. Yeah. So Jessica Tarlov is on the show.
I don't know if you heard it. I know I didn't. Did she give us an answer to whether or not we're better off now than we were 4 years ago?
She walked all the way around it and used all the words holistically in order to get there. So you just saw a huge contrast, right? So she does one interview with a friendly interviewer, her first solo interview after she became the nominee 65 days ago. She cannot answer a question with actual sentences and words.
And you know why everybody's freaking out? Because not only is Fox saying it, everybody is saying this. MSNBC is now saying it. And I was shocked. CNN is now saying it. And you can see, it's like almost every take we see Tapper get on there and he's pissed. Because, you know, we have, is it 39 days now? 40 days. And she can't answer a question. She repeats the same thing. What is her actual plan? 39 days. You can't make this shit up. You cannot make this up, y'all. And it's everybody calling it out now. Everybody's like, okay, now hold on. Wait a minute. We got to get this thing figured out. She can't just keep repeating the same thing and walking around stuff and not answering questions. It's everybody now. It's not just Fox and over here. It's everybody's calling this crap out now. I'm told y'all, man, they're in for a rude awakening. And prayers for October, because October is supposed to be an interesting month, man. Prayers for October, y'all. Prayers for Trump and his family. Prayers, man. Prayers in the comment section, man. Prayers for America. Prayers for you guys, because we don't know what to expect, especially this upcoming October, man. It is fun to get crazy, man. Oh.
And, punctuation. And it kind of pains me to say it, because I think, what have you been doing for 4 years? Do you not have any set of principles or an understanding of, one, first of all, she doesn't have any way she has not figured out how to separate herself from Biden. And then Biden yesterday said she was there every step of the way. Yeah. She's completely linked with me. The media is so hungry for any sort of attention that even the New York Times today basically laughed at her interview. Mm-hmm. If you look at the local press, which was in Pittsburgh, where her speech was yesterday, there's nothing on the front page of the local paper about it because there was no news in the speech. Then you go to President Trump. He started at 5:44, gave a long speech. Then he took questions on all range of issues without a teleprompter, without notes, in a way that says he has a grasp of what he's talking about. You might not like how he answers it, but he can answer the question. He has a set of principles from which he makes decisions. And I think at this point, the Democrats should just be hoping that she continues to hide in plain sight. I know she says she wants to debate him again, but I think that might be a really bad idea at some point for her if you're her team. And I want to have a debate here. I'm not saying that I don't. I'm just saying tactically, I don't know if it's a good idea.
Jessica, yesterday on The View, Joe Biden said she was with me every step of the way. And yet she's trying to separate herself, saying that she's the changed candidate. Joe Biden isn't doing her any favors.
No, she's not just saying that she's the change candidate. The American public thinks that. So in the latest set of polling, she's 9-10 points up on who represents change. And we know from the debate that her most effective line was, I am not Joe Biden. So obviously they didn't conference about what he was going to say there. I do think it gives her foreign policy bona fides that she needs to step into this role. But,
Get her off the show, man. People are screaming when she opens up her mouth, man. What? She literally just dodged it. Joe Biden said it, Jessica. Biden. He said it live on air. Everybody heard it. People, it's now a Trump advertisement.
If you want to say she said holistically 3 times within 40 seconds, sure, that did happen. But if people were watching the interview, they also heard that she's going to give tax cuts to 100 million people, that you're going to get a $6,000 child tax credit, that she's going to build 3 million new housing units, that she's not going to, quote, apologize for going after corporations, that you can actually raise the corporate tax rate. And we heard from Donald Trump on a range of issues, which did include the border, but also that Nancy Pelosi should be prosecuted for January 6th.
She should.
Hunter Biden's laptop always makes an appearance.
It has to. Throw the laptop in the middle of the freeway. Hands behind your back, everybody. Come on. Hands behind. People need to be held accountable. It's corrupt. Hands behind your back, Nancy. Looks like you had a lot to drink tonight, ma'am. Blow in this walkie-talkie. Everybody, hands behind your back. Big Mike, Hillary Clinton, everybody, hands behind your back. It's a lot of people that need to put their hands behind their back and need to be held accountable. We can go down the list. The list is pretty long, I tell you. But we got to get Nancy first. Botswana Nancy. She mixed the dark and the clear.
Ukraine is gone. And then my favorite, praising Operation Wetback. So I don't see how someone who isn't already politically dug in and knows who they're going to vote is going to watch someone who maybe repeats a word or two and someone who was talking about Operation Wetback and not know who they want to choose for this election or who they think would be more competent and ready for the job. And I should note on that, she was up 20 points on who has the mental fitness and competency to be able to do this job. And him rambling about everything that darts into his mind does not mean that he is capable of doing this job. It means that he can stand there and hog attention for 50.
Yeah, this is what happens when you're Trump deranged. Stage 4. TDS stage 4. Live on air. Here you go, y'all. Trump derangement syndrome, stage 4, right here.
55 minutes or whatever it was.
Jesse, even the New York Times said she gives roundabout answers. But I want to talk about Donald Trump and the fact that he was attacking Kamala and talking about the border and what she's done to the border in this press conference that he just finished, that he answered every question that was asked of him.
Jessica, a majority of the country wants mass deportation. That's not controversial. And it's a vast majority of the country. You say that she wants tax cuts for the middle class. She's not proposing tax cuts. She's just proposing keeping the Trump tax cuts for the middle class. No one's going to get an additional tax cut under Kamala Harris. It just stays the same for those people. She says she wants to build homes. How's she going to do that? She build, what, 8 car charging stations? $7 trillion for 8 car charging stations. This woman can't build anything. The guy spent his whole life building something. I'd rather go with this guy. She says dreams, ambitions, opportunity, aspirations. These are the words that Obama's people told her to say. Because she can't talk about her record. She can't talk in specifics about what she's going to do. She doesn't really know what she's going to do. She's just a basic woman from California who just ran through the machine all the way to the top. And now I feel bad for her. She's not ready for this. She's not ready for the job she has. She's not ready for the job she wants. We're not ready for her. She's not doing well. These interviews are going really poorly. She was asked a specific question about how are we going to make housing more affordable? And she says she's going to give money to state and local governments and it's going to be holistic. What does that mean? She's going to build yoga studios, Jessica? Healing crystals?
You love yoga.
Ayahuasca studios? What does that mean? She's going to give money to state and local governments in a holistic way.
They just make Jessica look like a complete idiot, complete fool. And of course, Jesse hits it on the nail, man. We're not surprised.
For transportation needs, and it's going to help housing. She doesn't have a grasp on anything. She didn't even know Biden kept Trump's tariffs on China. She says inflation's a crisis and then blame Trump. She says the border is a crisis and then blame Trump. She said the border was fine 3 years ago. She said the border was fine for 3 years, and now it's a crisis. She can't blame Trump for her border crisis. She let 20 million people into the country. And the worst line of the whole thing, Jessica, she said the American dream is dead. She's in power now. She said the American dream is dead.
All right, Greg. You know, Kamala refused to explain how she was going to pay for the $1.7 trillion spending plan that goes along with what her plan is. And the news from the Wall Street editorial board, they say that Harris's plan is Bidenomics 2.
Well, damn those people at the Wall Street Journal. Look, consumer confidence is down.
It's up.
No, it's down. It's down. September, check your stats. And what changed? It was up 6 months in a row. She became the nominee. Also, the public sees what's happening, which is that she's not just the Democrat candidate. She's being pushed as the next president by the media, the government, Hollywood, the deep state, all the usual suspects. That is making the American public very pessimistic because they see that they may not have the choice that they want. She is so dismal. And the election has become close because so much effort is being put on her behalf. Democrats survive on ill-defined terms. So, fair share. Can you define it? No. It's a political subjective phrase to disguise theft. Change. Do you want change? Yes. Do you know what there's good change and there's bad change? Right now, we're living in bad change.
Yep.
Illegal immigration, crime, cashless bail, that's change. But it's bad change. So when someone says she's the change candidate, it's absolutely meaningless. Just like holistic. That was a rhetorical safe word. She was saying it so she could make Stephanie stop hurting her.
All right.
Wait, I'm not done.
He's not done.
Excuse me.
He's not done.
But I want to compare this to Trump. Trump does talk a lot. There's no question about that. But within everything he was talking about was deeds. He was talking about deeds. People are voting for Trump because of deeds. Those who are supporting Harris are doing so for words. The problem is she can't even put effort into those words. She's no Obama. She's oh brother.
Oh brother.
Rule was serving up softballs, and it was like Harris wanted T-ball. And I understand that you may not like Trump's answers, but at least he respects you enough to answer them. Yeah. When I listen to her, I see somebody that is so ambivalent that she doesn't respect the people enough to answer the questions. I've never seen somebody so uncomfortable and irritable trying to express joy and hope. You know, she reminds me of the HR coordinator who's finding 7 different ways to tell you that you're fired. And then she feels bad that she has to do it. I'm so sorry, but I have to tell you. But it's like, it's kind of, I'm with you. I feel sad when I hear it. And if I were the American public, I would be really worried that you're going to get something that you didn't vote for.
Wow.
All right. Let's go to other news that President Trump just reacted to. The mayor of New York City blaming Biden after a bombshell indictment. The Fed slapping Eric Adams with 5 corruption charges, accusing Adams of seeking out and accepting bribes,
brother Eric, brother Adams,
$100,000 in free flights and other ritzy perks from foreign nationals. And then claiming he fraudulently got $10 million in public funds. The mayor declaring his innocence and vows to fight the charges.
What do y'all think of that, man? I can't wait. We got a separate video coming on that, man. Make sure y'all tune in. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. I love y'all. God bless you all and your families. And I will catch y'all in the next one, man. Peace and love, y'all.